Hey everyone, Dylan here, and in today's video, I'm going to be talking about my top 10 favorite anime. Hopefully everything is sounding okay. I got a new laptop, and so I'd been setting that up, and hopefully everything for my recording setting and all that sounds good and sounds about the same. So, yeah, I just wanted to let you guys know about that. But in this video, like I said, I'm going to be going over my top 10 favorite anime. And in the future, if you guys want me to do just a comedy slash romance type list, I can do that, or a shonen action. Because honestly, it was really hard to make an actual list. Because comparing a romance comedy show to an action shonen series is really hard to do. So I just try to do generally what I felt I liked more or most, but just because one is above something doesn't mean it's necessarily better, because they're kind of different shows in some aspect. But this is the best I kind of could do. So without any ado, I will start. And I will start with my number 10. So my number 10 is Rurouni Kenshin, or also known as Samurai X. And Rurouni Kenshin is a really cool series. It, has it's basically the sword fighting era where swords are outlawed, and samurai, and the character of Kenshin, he's a wanderer, and he uses a reverse blade sword, and because he's vowed to not kill anyone, and it's just an all around really cool series, and I really like Rurouni Kenshin. Samurai X, the actual first movie, Trust and Betrayal, is a really good movie. I mean, the art style looks different a bit, but it goes into Kenshin's past and shows that a little bit more. So I think it's really cool and really good. But yeah, and all in all, it's a good anime series, and it's my number 10. And next is my number 9. My number 9 is Trigun, a Western looking gunslinger, kind of sci-fi kind of series. It is a little older, but I still love it. It's really good. I typically don't like shows with guns and stuff in it. That stuff just doesn't, I don't know. I don't really care about that stuff all that much. So, but Trigun is the exception to the rule, because there's always exceptions to things, and Trigun's really good. Love Trigun. That's why it's in my number 9 spot. But I own Trigun. There's only 3 anime I don't own on my top 10 list. And 2 of them are for actual reasons. And I don't own Rurouni Kenshin, but that's because it's just everywhere, and you could stream it anywhere, and I just haven't felt the need to buy it. But I mean, I'd buy it if maybe I could, I don't know, it maybe, but yeah. Anyways, so next is my number 8, which is a little bit different from Trigun. Actually, it's very different. So it's The World God Only Knows, which is a comedy romance where the character Keima, basically, there's these lost souls from hell that go into the hearts of girls. Like there's a hole in their heart, basically. Not a real one, but it's not a real hole in their heart, you know what I mean? And they fill it and get bigger and can eventually become doing bad things. And so Keima has to basically seduce these girls and make them fall in love with him. So he replaces the lost soul with their love of him in their hearts. And it's a very funny, cool series, and I really liked it. And I own it. It has 3 seasons and some OVAs. It's really funny, really great. It has a really good soundtrack that's really unique, and I haven't heard anything else like it. So yeah, The World God Only Knows is number 8. And some people might be like, do you really think Trigun is better than The World God Only Knows? Well, not really. Yes and no. because they're two different series, and this is what I meant by like I'm doing my best here, but it's really hard to compare these shows and series. So yeah, in just the general aspect, that's why it's above Trigun. I still love Trigun, but like they're two different shows, so I just had to do my best with this listing. Next is my number 7. My number 7 is Baka and Test, and this is probably my favorite romance comedy anime. There might be more comedy in it than romance, but I don't know. It kind of depends, but it's really fun. It is in a high school setting, but it's a bit different where like characters have these things, they like summon these little avatar characters and they fight it out amongst each other, and depending on which score they have is their like attack power in like each subject, and they like are in classes based on their grades and stuff. So there's like class F, which is the worst of the worst, and depending on which class you're in, you have like better and worse equipment, and it's really cool. The characters are really funny. I love Baka and Test. It's like pretty much one of my favorite comedy romance series. So yeah. Number 6 is Naruto. Now I will say I love Naruto Part 1, and I love and like a lot of Naruto Shippuden. The only parts of Naruto that I really don't like is the war. I don't like the war arc and like how things end up. That's when like Naruto kind of goes downhill for me, but besides those kind of things, like the majority of the series I love. It has a special place in my heart. I have nostalgia for watching it on Toonami. I love Naruto. You know, some people might think this is too high on the list. Naruto's not that good. It shouldn't be number 6, but I love it. I think it's great. And, you know, like I said, maybe I could, with this list, with most of these, I could, like, replace them with maybe something else or switch things around. Top 10 and, like, anime lists are kind of hard. But, like 1 through 3 are, like, set in stone. Those ones I'm absolute on for the most part. Like, for being sure about not switching it around too much. But, yeah. So, number 6 is Naruto. My number 5 is, Clannad/Clannad After Story. And, I apologize if my cat is, making noise playing with something. If you hear that, I'm sorry. Yeah, Clannad/Clannad After Story. You know, Clannad's good on its own, but you need it to build up to Clannad After Story, which is one of, I don't know, I think one of the best, like, romance comedies that actually go past high school, and I think it's really good. I think it's, like, one of the first anime to ever make me cry to an anime, honestly. So, it's really powerful. The music's really good, really great. The art style is a little off-putting, but you do get used to it. But yeah, so I think it's really good, and I think it deserves to be here on number 5 of my list. And next is my number 4, which is Hunter x Hunter. Hunter x Hunter is a great battle shonen series. I love it. Each arc is different from the last. It has a lot of different themes. It seems really happy in the beginning, and then it gets dark, and Hunter x Hunter is really good. I own most of it. I own 1 through 5 of the volume of like the sets right now, and I plan on getting 6 and 7. So I will be completing Hunter x Hunter. Love it. It's great. I definitely think people should also check out the 1999 version. I honestly think Hunter x Hunter 1999's version is still pretty good, and I think it has better music that fits the show more. Like in the 1999 version of Hunter x Hunter, I think the music is better and fits it better. So you should check it out. But yeah, so that is my number 4. Now my big 3. My number 3 is called Hajime no Ippo, or I believe the English for it is like Fighting Spirit, something like that. Hajime no Ippo is a boxing sports anime, and it is great. I love it. I own it. And let me tell you, it's kind of difficult to own. I own it in English. This show was released in English in like 2002, 2003 in a 15-volume set. And it was by Geneon, which Geneon eventually went bankrupt, and so you couldn't get them anymore. I had to like buy it used and buy the set for like $300, but I don't regret it. I also got the movie Champions Road. I believe that's what it's called. I got the movie too in like a complete set. They're not in perfect condition. They are used, but I love the series so much. It gets me so hyped to hear the opening and just when they're preparing for fights. It is like the best boxing anime. Like, it is so good. I love Hajime no Ippo. It is my number 3. I don't care what anyone else thinks. That's how I feel about this one. I'm really passionate about Hajime no Ippo. If you haven't, I don't even know if you can watch it legally anywhere, honestly. Even the subbed version. I don't even think it's on Crunchyroll. But watch it if you can. It's great. You won't regret it. I'm not moving it from number 3. This is set in stone for me. I love that show. Now, my number 2. My number 2 is One Piece. Do I need to say more? It's One Piece. One Piece is a super long series, and that's kind of the downfall of it a little bit for a lot of people, but if you can go through all its episodes, you'll be that much more attached to the characters, you'll be that much more invested to the journey, and you'll just feel like, you spent a lot more time with the characters and the journey, and it just has more impact, and everything in it is great. The fights are really cool, the world building is cool, the emotion's good, the characters are good, the music is good, just everything in One Piece is good. Like, it can have its little low points, but it's so good. I love One Piece. Also, One Piece is kind of how I met my wife. So, that's kind of, it has a little more sentimental value for me. I would have never met the girl I'm with now if it wasn't for One Piece. I've been with her for 7 years. We're pretty much married at this point. We will be getting married. So, yeah, that's kind of between just One Piece being really good and me loving it, and I have a little bit of a sentimental value with that too. Now, my number 1 is Yu Yu Hakusho. And Hakusho is really awesome. It's great. I've owned it twice. I've owned it on DVD, and then I bought the Blu-rays. I actually want to own it, not to own it again, but I want to buy it again to get the metal book, like the metal covers, the metal things, you know what I mean, the metal covers that they come in now. I want the Steelbook edition or whatever of Yu Yu Hakusho, and I might end up buying it because I think it's cool and I would really like to have that. But Yu Yu Hakusho is my number 1 favorite anime. Once One Piece ends, One Piece possibly could be my number 1, but I don't know. It's more likely that Yu Yu Hakusho stays in number 1 even when One Piece ends. I don't know, but I love Yu Yu Hakusho. It has great characters, great music, great themes. Probably the best tournament arc in anime, period. It's just great. I love it so much. I've watched it so much that I've kind of burnt out on Yu Yu Hakusho. That's how much I've watched it, but I still love it nonetheless. But yeah, so that's kind of my list. I don't own Rurouni Kenshin, I don't own Naruto, and I don't own One Piece. One Piece is for obvious reasons. It's so long, I'd have to buy so many sets. It'd be expensive and a pain. Naruto, same kind of thing. I don't, I'm not sure that I can watch it now online, so I don't really need to buy the sets anyways, and it'd be expensive in a lot of them too. So that's kind of also why. Maybe one day I'll own them, but I don't know. But yeah, that's been my top 10 anime list. It was really hard to put this list together. Like I said, things could be changed around. If you guys want, I can do a comedy, romance top 10, and then just a shonen kind of top 10 list if you guys want, so I can make it a more fair comparison between what's in my spots. But I did my best to make my favorite top 10 list. This is mine. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think. if you love any of these shows like I do, and let me know what your top 10 is down below. This has been it for me. Thank you guys for watching so very much, and thank you guys for listening. I will see you in the next video.